Got a dream-based prophetic word here. I saw a um, a young man, but I know that he's a middle-aged young man now, but so he's not a young man per se, but and his sister, and they were wading through a creek, and they were going to see their dad, but that was not going to be a pleasant visit. And so I started asking him, because I hadn't seen him a really long time. How are you doing? What's going on? How was your visit to your dad? And he said, "Oh, not very good. I guess I just didn't measure up." He said. I was like, "What's the matter? Why? What's the matter?" He said, "Well, I couldn't build a car, and so that's why I didn't measure up." Um, so then I follow him and his sister to the mechanic shop of their dad, and while he's going over to talk to him, I see a linen that is uh, draped over the edge of a table, and it had sawdust on it, so I wiped it off there. And this tool shop, or this die cast tool shop, or whatever it was, some sort of a mechanic shop, was there, and he started saying, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna be staying here because I just don't feel like I'm being treated right, treated with any respect at all." And and the dad was just like, go ahead, see if I care, sort of an attitude. He just completely just didn't care at all. And his dad's also, in the middle of working. I've got work to do. He's just doing all this work. He doesn't have work to do. The dad doesn't have any work to do. He's making himself have work to do. It's the Christmas break, right? He's keeping himself busy with hobbies in his hobby horse shop that's not even his job. Okay, so uh, and he's being unrealistic in his expectations that he has for his son. He doesn't care about his son. There's no empathy at all. All he cares about is his stupid tool shop hobbies that he keeps doing, right? So I came by, and then his son left, and it was just me and him. So and his daughter, his other daughter left. So it was just me and him, and he's working hard like a big hard worker on his car that he's trying to build. And I said, "Well, I can't. I got to tell you something. I don't know how to build cars either." And then he said, "Well, then Merry Christmas." So, and then I was playing with a little lug nut or something when he said that, and I'm thinking to myself, don't you realize that your son and your daughter just left you? What are you doing just sitting here tinkering with stuff? Your priorities are so screwed up. And then he tries to get a giant spring and put it down into a thing that looks like it could create a nuclear explosion, but he doesn't even care. So then he draws a picture of Mona Lisa, and that's the end of everything. And the whole thing was just the apathy, the absolute carelessness and cold-heartedness that he had towards his family. He didn't care about them at all. He didn't care about anything other than his little hobby horse activity in his stupid shop. Doesn't he realize he's going to die? Doesn't he realize everything's going to burn up? Doesn't he realize that nothing here is eternal? I mean, what a waste of time, you know? But that was the experience. He had high expectations all the time, labor skills type expectations for his son, and his son could never do the labor skills. And his son said, I never knew how to build a car. when I thought to myself, why did the Father never teach his Son how to build anything that he expects him to know? The whole thing was ridiculous. There was no teaching going on from the Father to the Son. That's a prophetic word for somebody. So, if you're like that, if you're a dad, if you're like that and you're on the receiving end and you're a son or a daughter, let me tell you something. The Bible shows us that parents are supposed to teach their kids things that they want them to know. They're not supposed to just let them to themselves and then expect them to just know stuff. They're supposed to teach them life's lessons, teach them skills. And that's how the kids will know that they're loved. And it doesn't matter what age this happens at. God bless out there. This is John with WesleyGospel.com.